Speaking of it, Wang Shixiu was from Luzhou, and he was strong and robust, capable of lifting a stone mortar used for pounding rice. Both he and his father were skilled at playing football. Wang Shixiu's father, unfortunately, met his demise and drowned in the Qiantang River when he was in his 40s. 8 or 9 years later, Wang Shixiu went to Hunan on business and docked his boat by the side of Dongting Lake one night. A full moon rose from the east, casting a reflection on the clear lake like a white ribbon. As Wang Shixiu gazed at the lake, he suddenly saw 5 people emerge from the water. They laid out a large mat on the water's surface, about half an acre in size. On the mat, they set up food and drinks. The clinking of the wine vessels and tableware echoed, but the sounds were gentle, unlike the clatter produced by pottery and porcelain. After a while, 3 of them sat down to drink, while the other just stood by to serve. Of the 3 seated, 1 wore yellow clothes, and the other 2 wore white. They all wore black headscarves that were high and extended down to their shoulders, a rather peculiar and strange attire. However, the moonlight was faint, making it hard to see clearly. The 2 attendants wore brown clothes, one appearing like a child and the other like an old man. The person in yellow clothes said, "The moonlight tonight is splendid enough for us to enjoy a hearty drink." The one in white clothes remarked, "Tonight's scenery is reminiscent of the scene when the sea god Guangli Wang hosted a feast on Lihua Island in the South Sea." The 3 of them encouraged each other to drink, raising their cups and drinking heartily. However, the voices grew fainter and eventually became completely inaudible. Seeing this, the boatmen hid inside the ship, not daring to move a muscle. Wang Shixiu scrutinized the old man who stood serving them and found a strong resemblance to his father. However, when he heard the old man speak, he realized it wasn't his father's voice. As the second watch approached its end, he suddenly heard someone say, "With the bright moon overhead tonight, we should play a game of football for amusement." Immediately, Wang Shixiu saw the young child plunge into the water, retrieving a large round ball about the size of 2 clasped hands, as if it were filled with liquid mercury, transparent inside and out. The 3 seated individuals stood up. The one in yellow called the old servant over to play football with him. With a single kick, the old servant sent the ball flying over 10 feet high. The ball gleamed brilliantly in midair, too dazzling to look at. Suddenly, the ball zoomed in from a distance and plummeted onto the boat Wang Shixiu was on. Feeling an itch on his toes, Wang Shixiu launched a forceful kick, finding the large ball unexpectedly light and soft. He kicked so hard that it seemed he had burst the ball. The ball soared over 10 feet high, emitting a radiant light as it descended, tracing a splendid rainbow across the night sky. Finally, with a swish, the ball rapidly plunged into the water, akin to a comet streaking across the sky and diving into the water, causing the water to bubble as if a pot had been boiled. And then everything settled down. The men at the mat collectively exclaimed in anger, "Who's this outsider that's ruining our enjoyment?" The old servant, however, chuckled and said, "You're right. You're right. This kick is our family's secret technique, the meteor hook." The person in white wasn't pleased with the old servant's casual remarks, and furiously retorted, "We're all in a bad mood. Why are you so cheerful? Hurry up and fetch Xiao Wupi to capture that arrogant guy. Otherwise, you're going to get a beating on your big thighs." Assessing the situation, Wang Shixiu realized he couldn't escape and felt unafraid. He grasped a large knife and stood at the bow of the boat, prepared for combat. In an instant, the young child and the old man were already before him. And as Wang Shixiu looked closely, he recognized that the old man was indeed his father. Overwhelmed, he shouted loudly, "Dad! It's me, your son." The old man, taken aback, met his son's gaze, and their eyes met, filled with sorrow and distress. Seeing this, the young child swiftly turned back. The old man said, "Son, you need to hide quickly, otherwise, we'll both die." Before he could finish speaking, the 3 men from the mat had already boarded Wang Shixiu's boat in a flash. These 3 men had pitch-black complexions, and their eyes were larger than pomegranates. They seized the old man and intended to take him away. Wang Shixiu struggled fiercely against them, causing the boat to rock violently until the cable finally snapped. Wang Shixiu swung the knife and severed the arm of the person in yellow, who screamed in pain and then fled. The person in white charged at Wang Shixiu, and with one swing of the knife, Wang Shixiu beheaded him. The head plopped into the water with a gudong sound before sinking. Wang Shixiu planned to cross the lake under the cover of darkness. Suddenly, he saw a giant mouth emerge from the water's surface, resembling a deep well. The lake water around the mouth surged inward, producing booming sounds. Abruptly, the giant mouth spewed a massive water column, and towering waves surged, as if they could touch the stars. All the boats on the lake rocked intensely. Those on Wang Shixiu's boat were gripped by terror. Luckily, there were 2 large stone drums on Wang Shixiu's boat, each weighing over 100 jin. Wang Shixiu hoisted one of the drums and hurled it toward the gaping mouth in the lake. The lake erupted with a deafening thunderous noise, and then the waves gradually subsided. Wang Shixiu threw another drum, and the lake instantly calmed down. Wang Shixiu suspected his father was a ghost, but the old man said, "I never died in the first place." Of the 19 individuals who drowned in the river, all were devoured by demons. I managed to survive because of my skill in playing football. The demons offended the river god of Qintang, which led them to flee to Daunting Lake to hide. Those 3 individuals are all fish spirits, and they were playing with fish splatters. The father and son relished the joy of their reunion, and in the middle of the night, they rowed away. After daybreak, they saw a large fish fin in the boat, 4 to 5 feet thick. Understanding that it belonged to the arm of the yellow-clothed fish spirit that had been severed the previous night.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.